Hashtag life beat depression, day 723, and we're back in the place to be with another somatic healing session to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here now. Anybody who's tuning in later, today we're going to have our standard rounds, 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. 1 minute breaks in between to catch your breath, drink some water. But I will be moderating my intensity and my pace down. It is day 6 of COVID and COVID recovery for myself. I feel like my fever's been gone. Haven't had to take Tylenol yesterday or today so far. So I'm feeling a lot better than I have been the last several days. However, I'm still really quickly fatigued and, very quickly fatigued. So I'm going to have to moderate that intensity level down. Shout out to Tanner Hamilton. Thank you for being the first one in today. You are my part of gratitude. You can go ahead and think about what you're grateful for today. I'm grateful that you're here to support the cause, and I'm not alone. As I am also grateful for anyone else who's tuning in to support the cause and to support themselves. Really do appreciate you guys and girls out there for being a part of this. So, go ahead and think about your piece of gratitude. That'll help put you in that positive mindset as we move into the lesson. And then the second mental health tool we like to talk about is that progress tracking tool. Keeping track of the number of days that you show up for yourself and for others can have a positive effect, and it can have a cumulative positive effect. So the more days you keep track of, the more powerful that number can be in your life when it comes to getting up out of bed and moving forwards with things. I know that for a fact this number has helped me get out of bed. Now, I would say countless times, but 723 times. I've been counting. So if I wasn't counting, this number would have helped me countless times, if that makes sense. But yeah, keeping track of that number, keeping track of the days that you get up, you fight forwards, you put in the work, and you crush it. You crush that daily accomplishable goal will build up into a whole lot of fortification and a whole bunch of proof that you are stronger than the debilitating effects of depression or anxiety. So please do keep track of that number. We talked gratitude, we talked number tool. Let's get into the lesson. I also want to shout out to everybody who's here now. Brett, a.k.a. Soul, Slayer Ken, Lisa the Luminary. Thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate you. Thankful for therapy. Oh, Brett says day 61. Heck yeah, brother. It's over 2 months already. Crushing those goals, making that progress, and that's what it's all about. Ken shared his number as well. 331 days of consecutive training, almost to a year. Good stuff. Super inspiring. Thank you, Ken, for staying consistent. And I know Lisa, the Luminary, she's up there. Let me know when you get a chance, Lisa, how many days it's been of consecutive progress for you. And that being said, that number lets us know how we can overcome those challenges, right? It lets us know for a fact that we can overcome whatever challenges may be coming our way. Just like it did for me with COVID, I knew I was going to be here every day, no matter what. We'll find a way forwards. There's always a way to make that progress when we make the goal about progress. So, that being said, we covered gratitude, number tool, list tool. Talked about social support, which is super important as well. Now let's talk about the lesson. So today's lesson, we're going to do some switching. We're going to switch from southpaw to orthodox stance. That way we can train both sides. It's been a while, I think, since we really trained a lot of southpaw. So for those of you who don't know, or for anybody who's tuning in later, southpaw is just the mirror image of what we do in orthodox position. So in orthodox position, your dominant hand would be in the back. That would be your rear foot, your rear hand. Non-dominant hand in the front. That way your power hand is tossing that cross. In southpaw position, everything is reversed. Dominant hand's in the front, non-dominant hand in the back, and all the moves are the same. They're just going to execute from the opposite side. So it's going to give us an advantage if we're fighting someone who's never fought a southpaw opponent, or if we wind up fighting a southpaw opponent, or just to be able to throw that opponent off so they can't read or predict what we're going to do next if we can work from both stances. Shout out to Mad with Hats as well. Thank you for being here, brother. Appreciate you. Go ahead and think about your pieces of gratitude, and that'll help put you in that positive mindset. And we're talking about the lesson. We're going to talk about today, we're doing switches. I am going to drop that intensity down for myself. I'm not going to push that hard. I got to go slow and respect my body. I think I pushed too hard the other day, and there was a little bit of a bounce back there, a little cause and effect. But today I am acknowledging that my respiratory is not there like it is normally. Still dealing with getting rid of some of that stuff. Even though I'm feeling a lot better right now, as soon as I start going, are getting fatigued super fast. So I'm going to slow my training down. But remember, you guys can make this training your own by moderating your intensity, your speed, and the volume of strikes that you're throwing out there. Those are all things you can control. That way you can give yourself a challenge no matter where you're at. Skill level wise, you can always give yourself a challenge. And without that challenge, we can't grow. So make sure you're challenging yourself every day. That being said, let's talk about the lesson. From orthodox positions, right? From our standard position, we're going to be tossing the jab, the cross, and the uppercut. Boom, right down that center line. Then when we switch over, we'll switch over to southpaw. Everything is reversed. But same combos. Jab, cross, uppercut. Boom. Just coming from the opposite direction, from the opposite body. Opposite side of the body. Shout out as well to Main Gonza. Thank you for being here. We'll also jab, cross, uppercut, jab, cross, hook, and jab, cross, body shot. Boom. Those are our 3 groups of combos we're going to use, but we're going to be switching them up. Boom. Switching into southpaw. So when we switch into southpaw, we can do it mid-combo. We can do a jab. We can step into the cross, bam, which tosses us into southpaw position. We can also just, from our standing position, give a quick hop, boom, and we're in southpaw. Or we can step in to those different positions. So from orthodox, if we want to do an advancing switch, we can step forwards, leaving that lead foot where it is and just pivoting, rotating forwards, or we can pivot backwards into southpaw or orthodox. However you'd like, different ways to get in between those different stances. So we'll practice some of those along with the combos. We'll drill it at our intensity, an intensity that challenges you to your skill level. Remember, you can change that pace. You don't have to do the same volume of strikes. You can, if I'm tossing a 1, 2, 3, you could toss 6. You could toss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then toss the uppercut if you'd like. Modify it, really make it your own, and make sure that it's a challenge. That's the important part, to give ourselves a challenge. Not too much of a challenge where we need a day off, but just enough where we can feel that progress, that growth, be excited about it, have fun, and not overdo it. Also, we don't want to go too easy because then we'll fall into boredom and there'll be no drive to get back. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. I'm going to get these tunes going, and then we're going to get right into it. Standard rounds, 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. 1 minute breaks in between to catch your breath. And drink some water and check in on yourselves. There we go. We'll go with Metal Beat today. Yeah. Alright. Remember, you are a fighter, so give yourself a challenge. Push forward. Move as a fighter. Let's cover Muay Thai stance for a second here. Nice, balanced stance. Guard up high by the brow lines. Fingers tucked, thumbs tucked. And we want our feet evenly spaced apart, right? Head dead center. If you visualize that square on the ground, ball of front foot top corner, ball of back foot bottom corner, head's dead center. That keeps us nice and balanced. Tuck that chin, curl those hips. And we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Step in for the 1, 2. Right down that center line, turning those fists over. Bah, bah. And keep that pace moving. Keep that body moving forwards and backwards, shifting the weight from the front foot to the back foot. You can roll those fists to carry your pace. Step in for the 1, 2, bump, bump. Turn those fists over, chin tuck. There it is. Now we're gonna finish up with an uppercut. So 1, 2, and from here we're gonna twist through and send that fist up the center line at the last second. Back to stance, keep it square, visualize that target. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Bam, right there. 1, 2, 3, and back. Now we're in orthodox position, dominant hands in the back. But we're gonna switch up, keep that combo going. Right down that center line, visualize that target. And rotate through, use that body. Those angles to generate power. Remember, it's all about the angles, it's all about that sweet science. Bah, bah, bah. And we're gonna start switching over into southpaw position. So what we're going to do here is a 1, a 2, swing through for the uppercut, and then we're going to step back, boom, pivoting on that rear foot. We're stepping back and switching over into southpaw position. Now we're going to come back in and fire the same combo. Start with the 1, 2, down the center line, guard high, 1, 2, 1, 2, turn those fists over. Landing on those large 2 knuckles, guard nice and high all the time. We're in southpaw position now. It's gonna feel awkward if you haven't practiced it before. Remember to square up the hips and shoulders after each combo. And return to stance. Step in for the 1, 2. 1, 2. And we're gonna add in that uppercut now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Drive that uppercut up the center line. Remember to continue to square off with that opponent after each combo. And drive those fists in. Visualize that target. Visualize making contact with them. Square up hips and shoulders. Tuck that chin. Guard high by the brow line. Working from southpaw position here. 1, 2, 3. Back to stance. 1, 2, 3. Back to stance. Keep it southpaw. 1, 2, 3. Back to stance. And we're going to switch over. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to switch over to orthodox stance by pivoting on that rear foot and opening up some space. We're back into orthodox. Hit them with the 1, 2, 3 combo. 1, 2, 3. And then pivot back on that rear foot. Boom. Into southpaw. 1, 2, 3. Pivot. Bam. 1, 2, 3. Pivot. Boom. Back to stance. 1, 2, 3. Pivot into orthodox. 1, 2, 3. Pivot into southpaw. Boom. And that is the end of round 1. Catch your breath, drink some water. Shout out to BScribe1. Thank you for being here as well. Thank you for that support. We are pushing to our level. And try not to overdo it. I think I still have to dial it down a bit. I'm feeling a lot better as far as like the headache, muscle aches, the pains, all that. It's really just fatigue now that's slowing me down. But I do have to respect my body and mind on its journey. So I'm going to make sure I tune into that and set myself a reasonable goal for today and moderate as it goes. We want to stay in the moment. The moment is where we are present, powerful, and capable of moving forwards as long as we stay in tune with what our body is telling us. We got 13 seconds. We're going to pop back into orthodox stance. We're going to start on the second combo, which is going to end with a hook. And we're going to start switching through, again, switching into southpaw position and training that same combo from southpaw as well. Guard up, pop into Muay Thai position. Visualize that depression dummy in front of you. Remember, visualize knocking those lies right out of a stupid face. Step in for the 1, 2, bop, bop, and from here we're going to twist through the shoulders, boom, and hips, and toss that hook right into the head of that depression dummy. Square back up and keep it moving. Shift that body weight forwards and backwards. Step in for the 1, rotate for 2, rotate for 3. Bam, tossing that hook around. Back to stance. 1, 2, 3. Back to stance. 1, 2, 3. Back to stance. 1, 2, 3. And back in. Use that body weight. Chin tuck. Boom, boom. Back to stance. Now, we're going to start switching. 1, 2, 3. And we can pivot now into southpaw. But this time I want you to give it an advancing pivot. So we're going to pivot on that lead foot instead of the rear foot this time. Closing the gap or putting pressure on that opponent. Square up with them. Hit them with the 1, the 2. Rotate through for the hook. And now we're going to step right forwards. Boom. Right into him. Say you stumble back. Step right forwards. We're now in southpaw position. And we're going to fire that same combo from southpaw. 1, 2, and hook. 3. Back to stance. Keep it square. Keep it southpaw. Keep that body weight shifting. Front foot to back foot. Roll those fists to carry the rhythm. Hit him with the 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Back to stance. Keep that wrist straight for all strikes. 1, 2, 3. And back to stance. Hit that depression dummy in the head. 1, 2, 3. And back to stance. Wrist tight. Exhale on those strikes and visualize doing damage to that target. Back to stance. 1, 2, 3. Jab, cross, hook. Jab, cross, hook. And back to stance. Square up. Exhale through for more power. And remember to square those hips and shoulders after each combo. Back to stance. Back in. Square up. Square up. Keep it balanced. Square up. And we're going to start switching back. Switching back to orthodox position. And we're going to do it forwards. Again, we're going to put more pressure on that target by switching forwards into each stance. Give yourself some room. Step in for the 1, 2, hook to finish it, and then step forwards. Boom, pivoting on that front foot, starting the combo all over from southpaw position. 1, 2, 3, and pivot on the front foot. Boom, getting closer, closing up that gap, putting the pressure on. Hit him with the 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and pivot forwards. Boom. 1, 2, 3, pivot forwards. Boom. Open up that space, step on back. 1, 2, 3, pivot forwards. 1, 2, 3, pivot forwards. And that is the end of round 2. Round 3, we're gonna work that body shot in. We're gonna be switching up the stance again, working from southpaw a lot. We've got 53 seconds. Catch your breath, drink some water. Check in on you. Dizziness, lightheadedness, or spots in the vision, or nauseousness in the stomach, all signs of overreaching. You want to dial that back, dial that intensity back. Make sure you're giving yourself a challenge. It's going to take me a while to recover this, I guess, from the fatigue side of this COVID thing. Hopefully not too long. But I got to find a way to train through no matter what every day. There's always a way forward. So thank you guys for being a part of this, for being a part of my recovery. Not just for mental health, but for physical health as well. It does help to have a social support system out there and some public accountability. It can really help you stick to your goals. Alright, we're back, and this time we're working with a body shot. Go back to orthodox stance, right? Dominant hand in the back. We're going to start with the 1, the 2, and then we're going to sink in. We're going to sink low and drive that body shot. Whoosh, from the hip, bam, into the body of that depression dummy. Back to stance. Now, how are we going to get 1, 2, 3, how are we going to get into southpaw? Your choice this time. After that body shot, let's say it staggers the opponent, you can step in and work on that, building more pressure and hunting them down, keep the combo going. 1, 2, 3, bomb. Or you can step back and work your way back in, time it out, find a new plan of attack. Your choice here. But let's start with the stepping in switch, and we're going to start 1, 2, sink, body shot, and step forwards, bam, into southpaw position. We're in southpaw now, same thing, fire from the opposite side. 1, 2, sink, body shot, and we can step forwards, back into orthodox position, pivoting it on that lead foot. Back to stance, keep it square, hit him 1, 2, body shot, 1, 2, sink, body shot, and step forwards to put the pressure on him. We're in southpaw. 1, 2, body shot, and now I'm going to step backwards. I'm going to pivot on the rear foot and open up some space. Bam, back to orthodox. Keep it square, hit him with the 1, 2, body shot. 1, 2, sink, body shot, and pressure on him. We're pivoting on that lead foot, right, to put the pressure on. We're in southpaw now. 1, 2, body shot, and we're going to pivot on the rear foot this time. Open up that space. Clear out some space there, get ready, reset. Square up, hit him with the 1, 2, body shot. 1, 2, sink, body shot, and put the pressure on him. Pivot on that front foot. Into southpaw, 1, 2, body shot. Bum, bum, bum. And pivot back, opening up that space. Let's do it again. This time we're going to do from orthodox. We're going to open up some space from the opposite side. So in orthodox position, step in 1, 2, body shot, and now we're going to pivot on the rear foot. Open up some space to come back in for another attack. Step in, 1, 2, body shot from southpaw, and we're going to put the pressure on him by pivoting on that front foot. Boom, keep it squared, keep it balanced, head centered the whole time. Back to stance, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, body shot, and put the pressure on him. Bam, step forwards. 1, 2, body shot, pressure on him. Step forwards. Give yourself some room. Space it out. 1, 2, 3. Pressure on. Step forwards. 1, 2, 3. Pressure on. Step forwards. Keep it square. 1, 2, 3. And step in. Boom. That is the end of round 3. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. I'm not dying. I'm not lightheaded. Nah, I'm a little dizzy. A little bit. But did a lot better than yesterday. I didn't push too hard. and trying to keep that intensity level under control and moderate to my new circumstances. So I hope that you guys are doing the same. I hope you're giving yourself a challenge every day. Remember, there's always a way to grow. There's always a way forward. And if we do make that goal about progress, if we make the goal to be part of this process and show up every day for ourselves first, then those long-term goals that we're looking for are going to come through as side effects. Side effects being better heart health, better physical health, better mental resiliency, and long-term, sometimes weight loss goals, sometimes fitness goals, endurance goals. All those things will come over time as long as we stick to it with consistency and just stick to that process and fall in love with the process. Have fun with it. I hope that you enjoyed the time here today. And if you didn't get a high enough intensity training out of today's session, please do give yourself a bonus round. Depending on how I feel later, I will tune into myself. And if I do feel like I've got more to give and it would be good for me to challenge myself a little bit further, I'll probably do so on that speed bag or that heavy bag behind me. So remember, this is not the end of the day. It's the middle of the day. It can be the beginning of your fitness goal. It can be the bonus round for you. Just remember to give yourself the challenge for the day. It's all about you and what you can do. We're not here to compete with each other. We're here to compete with ourselves. That's how we see that consistent growth. Until next time, I'll catch you guys same exact time, same exact channel, same exact life. Zach Man out.